You have been giving away your power your whole life, and you did not even realize it. Every time you reacted to someone who did not deserve your energy. Every time you tried to explain yourself to people who were never going to understand you anyway. Every time you spend your energy on the wrong people. You gave them a small piece of yourself, a piece of your strength, a piece of your peace, and they took it without thinking twice. But today, that stops. Right now, I am going to show you 7 dark psychology tricks that Machiavelli refined himself. These are strategies that will teach you how to dominate without arguing, how to win without fighting, and how to become untouchable just by choosing when and to whom you show your presence. Most people move through life on autopilot. Someone insults them, and they instantly react. Someone questions them, and they quickly start explaining. Someone tries to drain their energy, and they allow it to happen. They believe they are strong because they engage. They believe they are smart because they defend themselves. But they are wrong. The real power players move in a completely different way. They do not react. They do not explain. They do not waste even 1 second on people who do not matter. They protect their attention like it is the most valuable thing in the world. Because it truly is. Think about it. Every billionaire, every powerful leader, every person who seems truly untouchable has one thing in common. They are selective. They do not reply to everyone. They do not show up everywhere. They do not hand out their energy freely. And that is exactly what makes them so magnetic and attractive. Machiavelli understood this more than 500 years ago. He knew that power is not about being the loudest person in the room. It is not about proving yourself to every person who doubts you. Real power is quiet. Real power is selective. Real power is strategic. And today, you are going to learn how to use it in your own life. In the next few minutes, I will break down 7 lessons that can completely change the way you deal with people. You will learn how to make people think about you constantly without saying a single word. You will discover why silence can be more powerful and more dangerous than any clever comeback. You will understand how to step back in a smart way so that people start chasing you instead of you chasing them. This is not about being cold or heartless. This is not about being cruel. This is about taking back control of your own life. This is about acting from a place of power instead of reacting out of emotion. This is about becoming the kind of person others cannot manipulate, cannot control, and cannot ignore. Now, I want you to write this affirmation in the comments. I control my power. Let us begin. Number 1. Guard your attention like it is gold. Let us start with the most basic rule of power. Your attention is currency. And just like money, the moment you spend it carelessly, you end up broke. Here is what most people never tell you. Every single time you give someone your attention, you are making an investment. You are spending your mental energy, your emotions, your time, everything you have, on that person or situation. And like any investment, you need to ask yourself one simple question. What am I getting in return? Most people never stop to ask that. They give their attention to anyone who demands it. A hater leaves a comment, and they quickly respond. A toxic person starts drama, and they join in. Someone disrespects them, and they spend hours trying to craft the perfect reply. And what do they get back? Nothing. Absolutely nothing except stress, frustration, and wasted time. Machiavelli understood something that most people still do not understand. The person who controls where their attention goes is the person who controls their life. Because attention is not only about focus. It is about power. When you give someone your attention, you are also giving them power over your emotions, your thoughts, and your energy. Think about the people who always drain you. The ones who always complain. The ones who always need something from you. The ones who love to criticize everything you do. Now ask yourself honestly, what have they given you in return for all that attention? Have they improved your life? Have they helped you grow? Have they added real value to your world? The answer is probably no. But they still receive your attention. Why? Because you have not learned to be selective yet. Here is what real power players do. They create a filter in their life. Not everyone gets access to them. Not everyone gets a reply. Not everyone gets their time. Before giving attention, they ask one simple question. Does this person truly deserve it? And if the answer is no, they move on. No explanation. No long speech. No second guessing. This is where most people make a mistake. They think they owe everyone a response. They think they must reply to every message, every comment, every attempt to drag them into drama. They believe ignoring someone makes them rude or weak. But the truth is the opposite. Ignoring people who are not worthy does not make you weak. It makes you untouchable. It shows that you respect yourself enough to protect your energy. It proves that you are not available to anyone who wants a piece of you. Imagine someone sends you a disrespectful message. Your first instinct might be to attack back, to defend yourself, to prove your point. But what does that really achieve? You just gave them exactly what they wanted. Your reaction. Your time. Your energy. Your power. Now imagine you do not respond at all. You read it, feel nothing, and delete it. What happens to them? They sit there wondering why you did not react. They check if you saw the message. They might even send another one trying harder to get your attention. And during all that time, you are living your life peacefully, completely unbothered. That is the power of guarding your attention. You become like a strong fortress that nobody can enter unless you open the gate. And you only open that gate for people who have earned it. From this moment on, treat your attention like gold. Because it truly is. And gold is not given to everyone. It is given only to those who are worthy. Write this affirmation in the comments. My attention is gold. Number 2. Silence is your sharpest weapon. Do you know why so many people fear silence? Because they believe it makes them look weak. They think if they do not respond, if they do not defend themselves, if they do not have the last word, then they have somehow lost. They believe silence means giving up. But here is the truth that can change your life. Silence is one of the strongest moves you can make. Think about it carefully. When someone attacks you with words and you attack back with more words, what really happens? You step into their game. You follow their rules. You give them exactly what they wanted, which is a reaction. And now both of you are stuck in a pointless argument that helps no one. But when you answer with silence, everything shifts. The game ends. The power changes direction. Suddenly, they are the ones standing there, looking foolish, talking and getting nothing in return. Machiavelli understood this clearly. He saw many men destroy their own reputation by talking too much, explaining too much, reacting too quickly. And he noticed that the ones who gained real power were the ones who knew when to speak and when to stay quiet. Silence sends a message that words never can. It shows complete indifference. It says, you are not worth my time. You are not worth my energy. You do not even deserve my response. And honestly, that hurts people more than any insult. Let me explain why silence is so powerful. When you respond to someone, you validate them. You show them that what they said was important enough for you to answer. You prove that they touched your emotions. You show that they affected you. But when you say nothing, you take away that validation. They are left wondering. Did you see it? Did it bother you? Do you even care? They will never know. And that uncertainty will bother them more than any comeback you could give. I have seen people spend days thinking about why someone did not respond to them. They replay every word in their mind. They question themselves. They imagine different situations, all because of silence. That is psychological power without saying a single word. Here is another truth most people ignore. The more you speak, the more information you give away. Every word can be used against you. Every explanation shows where you are sensitive. Every defense shows what hurts you. But silence gives nothing. No words to twist. No emotions to attack. No weakness to use. Now, this does not mean you should never speak. There are moments when your voice truly matters. But those moments should be chosen carefully and used wisely. The rest of the time, let your silence speak for you. When you finally do speak, people will listen more carefully. Your words will have weight because you do not waste them. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. Silence is strength. And silence is a weapon that hits every time. Write this affirmation in the comments. Silence is power. Here is where many people make a mistake. They think the goal is to disappear completely. To cut everyone off. To isolate themselves from the world and become some mysterious person that nobody can reach. That is not power. That is just running away. Real power is different. It is called strategic withdrawal. Strategic withdrawal means you are still there, but you are not emotionally affected. You are present in the room, but no one can touch your feelings. You show up when it helps you, and you step back when it does not. You make people feel your absence, even when you are standing right in front of them. Let me explain it clearly. Complete withdrawal is when someone disappears forever. They ghost you. They are gone. After some time, you move on. They become unimportant. That is not power. That is simply leaving. But strategic withdrawal is different. It is when someone is still close to you, still in your world, but now they are unpredictable. Sometimes they are warm and friendly. Sometimes they are cold and distant. Sometimes they are available. Sometimes they disappear. They are there, but not fully there. And that creates something very strong and very dangerous. Obsession. Machiavelli understood this very well. He observed that powerful leaders did not stay visible all the time. They chose carefully when and where to appear. They created scarcity. They made their presence feel valuable because it was rare. Think about someone you are attracted to. Now imagine they text you every hour of every day. They are always free. They always reply immediately. They always cancel their plans just to see you. After 1 week, how would you feel? Probably overwhelmed. Maybe even irritated. When someone is always there, the mystery disappears. Now think about someone who texts you sometimes. Sometimes they reply fast. Sometimes they take hours. Sometimes they are free to meet. Sometimes they are busy. You never fully know when they will appear again. How do you feel then? You think about them more. You check your phone. You wonder what they are doing when they are not with you. That is strategic withdrawal in action. And this does not only work in romantic relationships. It works in every part of life. In friendships, the person who is always available becomes the backup option. But the person who is selective with their time becomes important. Here is the secret. You stay in the game, but you do not let the game control you. You show up, but only on your terms. You participate, but only when it benefits you. This creates uncertainty in other people's minds. They cannot predict you. They cannot control you. They cannot take you for granted. And uncertainty creates respect. When you step back in a smart way, people begin to chase you. They begin to question. They begin to value your presence because they know it is not guaranteed. Your absence sends a message. Your unavailability becomes attractive. Your boundaries become your strength. You do not need to disappear from the world. You simply need to make the world work to keep you. Be present, but be selective. Show up, but let them earn it. Stay connected, but never let them feel too comfortable. That is how you turn silence into influence. Write this affirmation in the comments. I choose my presence. Number 4. The mind-breaking effect of ignoring. Do you know what happens inside someone's mind when they are ignored? Chaos. Their brain starts working overtime, trying to solve a problem that has no answer. They look for reasons. They create stories. They build explanations. They do everything they can to understand why you did not respond. And while they are using all that mental energy thinking about you, you are not even thinking about them. That is the power of ignoring. It is psychological warfare without you doing anything. They are fighting inside their own mind, and you are not even in the fight. Here is why it works. Human beings need closure. We want answers. We want to understand why something happened. When someone treats us in a certain way, our brain immediately tries to find the reason. It is automatic. So when you ignore someone and give them nothing, their brain struggles. There is no explanation. No closure. No reason. Just silence. And that silence becomes like an open question in their mind that never closes. Machiavelli saw this happen many times in politics. He noticed that leaders who answered every critic and every rumor became stuck defending themselves all the time. But the leaders who ignored their enemies often watched those enemies destroy themselves with anger and obsession. Imagine someone sends you a hateful message. They want a reaction. They want you upset. They want proof that they touched your emotions. Now you have two choices. First option, you respond. You argue. You defend yourself. You insult them back. And what happens? They win. They got your attention. They got your energy. They know they affected you. Even if you made strong points, they still pulled you into their world. Second option, you ignore them completely. You act like the message never existed. Now what happens? They stare at their phone. They wonder if you saw it. They check again and again. They might even send another message. They talk to their friends about it. They think about you for days. And you? You forgot about them almost immediately. So who really won? When you ignore someone, you remove them from your reality. You treat them like they do not exist. And that hurts more than any argument. Because in a fight, they are at least noticed. In an argument, they are at least seen. But in silence, they are nothing. Invisible. Unimportant. And the human brain hates that feeling. The powerful part is this works on everyone. Haters. Critics. Toxic exes. People who only drain your energy. The moment you take away your attention, you take away their power. They are left shouting into empty space. You do not need revenge. You do not need to prove anything. Your indifference is enough. Your silence is enough. Your absence is enough. Let them overthink. Let them wonder. Let them stress trying to understand you. While you continue moving forward like they were never important. Now write this affirmation in the comments. I erase the unworthy. Number 5. Erase the unworthy completely. Now we need to be clear. Not everyone should be ignored in the same way. There are 3 types of people you must remove from your life completely. And each one needs a different level of strength. First, your enemies. I am not talking about normal competition or simple disagreements. I mean the people who are actively trying to hurt you. The ones spreading lies. The ones trying to block your success. The ones who smile at you in public but betray you in private. Most people make a big mistake here. They try to expose these people. They want to prove the truth to everyone. They want justice. They want to protect their name. They want to stand up and defend their reputation. But here is what Machiavelli would tell you. The moment you engage with your enemies, you make them important. You give them attention. You give them a stage to perform on. You make them relevant in your world. Instead of doing that, erase them. Do not expose them. Do not fight them. Do not even admit they exist. Stay focused on your path. Keep winning. Keep building. Keep improving your life. Let your growth speak for you. Let your success be the thing that hurts them the most. Let them sit there and watch you rise higher while they stay stuck in their anger and jealousy. That is real revenge. Not shouting. Not arguing. Just winning. Second, the critics. These people have nothing to offer except negative words. They do not build anything. They do not create anything. They sit safely on the sidelines and judge the people who are actually trying. Here is the truth about critics. They need you more than you need them. Their identity depends on having someone to attack. Without you, they have no purpose. They have nothing to talk about. So when you respond to them, when you argue, when you try to prove them wrong, you are feeding them. You are giving them the attention that keeps them alive. Cut them off. Not with anger. Not with long explanations. Just with calm indifference. Let them talk. Let them post their long messages. Let them gather their small groups to complain. While they are busy criticizing, you are busy progressing. And success does not argue with critics. Success makes critics invisible. Third, and this is the most dangerous group, energy parasites. These people do not look like enemies. They do not sound like critics. They look like friends. But slowly and quietly, they drain you. They always have a problem. They always need advice. They always have a crisis that only you can fix. And because you are kind, you help. But here is what you must understand. The problems never stop. The crises never end. There is always something new. Because they are not really searching for solutions. They are searching for attention. These people are like vampires. They take your time, your energy, your mental peace. And they give nothing back. Even worse, when you try to set boundaries, they make you feel guilty. They make you feel selfish. But protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot pour water from an empty cup. You cannot support others if you are exhausted. You cannot stay strong if someone is constantly draining you. So what do you do with all three types? You erase them. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a public way. Quietly. Fully. Permanently. Stop replying to their messages. Stop joining their drama. Stop giving them your attention, your time, your life. Treat them like they are invisible. Because in your world, they should be. Your time is limited. Your energy is valuable. Your attention is precious. And none of it should go to people who do not add something positive to your life. Remove the unworthy. Make space for better people. And watch how your life begins to change. Number 6. Build the armor of indifference. The reason people can manipulate you, control you, or drain you is not because they are stronger than you. It is because you have not built your armor yet. And that armor is indifference. Let us be clear about what indifference really means. It does not mean you have no emotions. It does not mean you stop caring about everything. It means you control what affects you and what does not. It means you are so secure inside that outside chaos cannot disturb your peace. Most people are emotional prisoners. Someone insults them, and their whole day is ruined. Someone disrespects them, and they stay angry for days. Someone questions their choices, and they start doubting themselves. Their emotions depend completely on other people's words and actions. That is not power. That is slavery. Machiavelli saw powerful men fall, not because they were weak physically, but because they were weak emotionally. Their anger made them easy to predict. Their pride made them easy to manipulate. Their need to always be right made them easy to control. And their enemies used those weaknesses against them. The men who survived and thrived were different. They built emotional armor so strong that nothing could shake them. They cared deeply about their goals, their mission, their future. But they did not care about the noise around them. They did not care about opinions. They did not care about disrespect. They were untouchable. Not because nothing hit them, but because nothing stayed. So how do you build this armor? First, you identify your emotional triggers. What makes you angry? What makes you defensive? What makes you feel like you need to explain yourself? Those are your weak spots. Those are the cracks in your armor. And people, even without knowing it, will press those buttons every time. Maybe your trigger is being called lazy. So when someone suggests you are not working hard, you immediately start defending yourself and listing your achievements. In that moment, you gave them control over your emotions. Maybe your trigger is being misunderstood. So you spend hours trying to explain your intentions. You just gave them your time and energy. Maybe your trigger is disrespect. So you explode every time someone does not treat you the way you expect. Now you are predictable. And predictable people are easy to manipulate. So what do? You remove the trigger. Not by running away from situations. But by becoming so calm and indifferent that the situation no longer controls you. Someone calls you lazy. You know your work ethic. Their opinion changes nothing. No response needed. Someone misunderstands you. People will always create their own stories. Let them. You do not need to correct every narrative. Someone disrespects you. Their behavior shows who they are. It does not define you. Keep moving. This is the armor. When nothing outside of you controls how you feel inside, you become impossible to manipulate. You become difficult to break. You become hard to control. People will test you. They will try your old triggers. They will expect the old reaction. And when they get nothing, when they see that their tricks no longer work, they will either respect you or leave you alone. Either way, you win. The armor of indifference does not mean you stop feeling. It means you decide what to feel and when to feel it. It means your emotions work for you instead of controlling you. It means you are in control of your own life. You are the one driving. Not other people. Not their opinions. Not their actions. You. So build that armor. Strengthen it every single day. Practice it in small situations. And slowly, you will see how little power the world actually has over you. Now write this affirmation in the comments. Nothing controls me. Number 7. Ascend through calculated inaction. Most people believe power is about action. They think it is about working harder than everyone else, fighting every battle, proving themselves again and again. They believe they must always move, always speak, always defend, always show their value to the world. But Machiavelli understood something different. Something most people never realize. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is no move at all. Calculated inaction is the skill of winning by doing nothing. It is knowing that some battles are won by refusing to fight. It is understanding that some people will destroy themselves if you simply step aside and let them. It is having the patience to wait, while others rush and expose themselves. For example, imagine someone is spreading rumors about you. The old version of you would panic. You would call people. You would send messages. You would try to explain your side. You would stress yourself out trying to fix something that may not even matter. You would waste energy fighting a battle that does not deserve you. The new version of you does nothing. You let people talk. You continue living with integrity. You keep working. You keep producing results. You keep building your life. And what happens? Over time, the truth shows itself. The people who truly matter already know who you are. The lies start to look foolish because they do not match reality. And you did not waste a single drop of energy. That is calculated inaction. That is rising without struggle. Here is another example. Someone is trying to compete with you. They copy your style. They try to outshine you. They make it obvious that they want your position. The old you would react. You would try to stay ahead of them. You would change your strategy just to confuse them. You would focus on beating them. The new you ignores them completely. You stay focused on your own path. You improve because that is your nature, not because you are trying to defeat someone. While they are watching you, studying you, trying to catch up to you, you are moving forward without even thinking about them. And slowly, the distance between you grows. Not because you were competing, but because you were never in the same race. That is the power of calculated inaction. You attract without chasing. You dominate without arguing. You change the balance of power without speaking. People become curious about you because you do not react like everyone else. They cannot predict you. They cannot figure you out. They cannot control you because you do not play their games. They cannot compete with you because you are focused on something bigger. Your silence becomes powerful. Your absence becomes attractive. Your indifference becomes something people talk about when you are not even in the room. You become the person everyone wants access to, but few can reach. You become untouchable. And here is the best part. While others are wasting energy on drama, arguments, and trying to prove themselves, you are saving yours. You invest your energy into real growth. Real goals. Real power. That is how you rise. Not by stepping on others. Not by fighting everyone. But by refusing to lower yourself to battles that do not help you grow. By protecting your energy so strongly that only worthy people get access. By being so selective with your presence that your absence says more than your words ever could. Calculated inaction is not laziness. It is strategy. It is wisdom. It is pure power. In this video, you learn the mind-breaking power of ignoring. How doing nothing can sometimes hurt someone more than fighting back. You identified the people who must be erased from your life. Your enemies. Your critics. Your energy parasites. You began building the armor of indifference. Learning to control your emotions so no one else can control you. And finally, you learned how to rise through calculated inaction. Winning without fighting. Dominating without confrontation. These are not just ideas. They are rules. And if you apply them consistently and seriously, your life will change. People will treat you differently. They will respect you more. They will start chasing you instead of you chasing them. They will value your time because they know it is not easy to access. They will fear your silence because they understand what it means when you give it. But this only works if you commit. This only works if you actually change how you act, starting now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. The next time someone tries to provoke you, stay calm. The next time someone demands an explanation you do not owe, stay silent. The next time you feel the urge to prove yourself to someone who does not deserve it, stop yourself. From this moment, you move differently. You are untouchable. You attract by stepping back. You lead by staying silent. This is the powerful strategy Machiavelli mastered centuries ago. And now, it is yours to use. So let me ask you one last time. Are you ready to stop giving away your power? Are you ready to become the strongest, most untouchable version of yourself? If your answer is yes, then prove it. Write, "I am untouchable," in the comments right now. Make that promise to yourself. Speak it like you mean it. And before you leave, if this message opened your mind, press the like button. Share it with someone who needs this reminder. Subscribe to the channel, because this is only the beginning. From now on, you are untouchable.